the Parashas Ekev. Ekev Tishmun. And the word is V'haya will be Ekev Tishmun. Ekev means, we don't know what it means. What does it mean, Elliot? What does Ekev mean? We don't know. We have to go to Rashi. Ekev Tishmun. We know Tishmun means if you'll hear. Es HaMishpatim Hayu. If you'll listen to these commandments. Ushmartem. Sisem Osam. And you'll watch them and guard them and do them. And God will watch over for you the bris and the chesed, the covenant and the kindness, asher nishko avosecha, which he swore to your fathers. Okay, so let's go to the Rashi. Max, you read the Rashi. Ekev Tishme'un. What does Ekev Tishme'un mean? What does the Rashi say on Ekev? Very powerful Rashi. Yeah, what does Rashi say? Hey, Jonah, grab a chumash, Jonah. Okay, go on. Max is going to read the Rashi. Right. If these mitzvot kavod, if the Parshas Ekev, Jonah, if the minor mitzvot that a person is dash beikav, if he listens, if these minor commandments that a person tramples on his heels, if he even listens to these commandments, then Tishmaun, then God will watch your covenant. Read the second Rashi. V'shamar Hashem elkecha.
Shamar Hashem, Yishmor Lecha,
Yishmor Chaftachto. If you follow the commandments, even the minor ones that people trample on, then God will watch his promise for you. So Rashi says the word Ekev is related to the word for heel, and you trample on. I mean, it's not the pshat. It's not the pshat. Ekev Tishmun really probably means indeed or surely here. But Rashi said, quoting Midrashes, that this means even those commandments which you trample on. Rashi quoting the Tanchuma. And it comes from the word Yaakov. Yaakov is like the heel. But since we talked about this Rashi, one of the most famous Rashi, so I'll just read to you. I don't do this often when we do the Rashi study, but sometimes we have the commentaries on Rashi, which are of the Hasidic masters. So they go into the Rashi. So share 3 or 4 comments on it. Number 1 is from the Sfas Emes. There's the Sfas Emes. Ima mitzvos hakavos shadam dash beikov tishmon. Yesh mitzvos hatuliyos berosh adam uvelibo v'chadome. There are some mitzvos that are dependent upon the head of a person or on his heart or something similar. As it says in the Gemara, there are 248 positive commandments corresponding to the limbs of a person. And then there are some that are opposite the heel, and they're the mitzvos hakalos, the minor ones. Just like the head is more important than the foot, nevertheless, the foundation, the basis of a person is his foot or his feet. Because, or really it should be Shehem Hayesod Shadam Amoleim. They're the basis that a person stands on. So to the mitzvos hakalos, so to the minor commandments. Kol binyan mushtat alein. The whole building is resting on it. So says the Sfas Emes says something really beautiful here. It says, what does it mean if you trample on if you guard the minor commandments, I will keep my promise to you. He says that every mitzvah we do corresponds to a different limb on the body. And there are some mitzvahs which are more important. They correspond to the head. But you have to keep the foundational mitzvot, the minor mitzvot, because everything rests upon that. Just like the head is more important than the foot, nevertheless, the foot is what gives us balance in life. So the minor mitzvos are what give us the balance in our life. And if we overlook them, then we're not going to have the balance we need in our life. And those mitzvos that maybe everyone does every day, we take for granted. How do you do that when nobody's looking, when you're by yourself, and there's nobody around? If you take those seriously, then you'll have the balance in your life. That's what this Sfas Emes is saying. Who's the Sfas Emes? Do you remember the Sfas Emes? The Ger Rebbe. Okay, so now we say the Ksav Sofer. Ksav Sofer is the son of the Chasam Sofer. He says as follows. What does Rashi mean? Kavanas Rashi liyashev hakushya. Rashi is trying to answer the difficulty. How is the Torah promising reward for the performance of the mitzvos? There's no reward for a mitzvah in this world. Ella b'shvil tirchos v'yagil shel mitzvos. Sh'adam dash be'ikav k'dei l'kaimon yesh schar gam b'olam hazeh. So no, he says as follows. The Ksav Sofer says we don't get reward for the mitzvah. What are we getting? There's no reward for a mitzvah in this world. Schar mitzvah b'hayal maleka. So what are we getting reward for? We're getting rewarded for the tircha and the yagia shel mitzvos, the effort to do the mitzvos. That's what we're getting rewarded for. We're not getting rewarded for doing the mitzvah. We're only getting rewarded for the effort involved in doing the mitzvah, but not for the mitzvah itself. That's the second answer. And then we have the Belzer Rebbe. What does the Belzer Rebbe say? Person needs to understand Shepa'amim. Afilu Maaseh Pe'ot Yachol Achriya Goralo Bazel Baba. Even a small action can make the difference in his faith. Mashal Adam Shabikesh Lagia Lakrach. It's like a person who's trying to get to a city. Most people Kaspo Kartis Nisiara Tachana Chorna Shafneo Tokrach. Oh, I didn't realize you guys are in town. I thought you're in Iceland. Oh, and you're not here this Shabbos, though, right? Oh, okay, we're all here. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Okay, and we're actually, maybe you could do us a favor, and do you have time this week to go to the market, 7 Mile?
We do.
Okay. A Friday, yeah, then we can get sushi. Oh, shkoya. Wow. All right. So, right? Sushi's always good. We don't like to get the sushi 2 days before, it's no good, but the day before, it's star. Okay, so, oh wow, I didn't even realize you guys are back. This is like a bonus. We weren't expecting more interviews. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, it was very special. We went to Lake Anna. Has anybody heard of it? Yeah. The special thing about Lake Anna, I'm going to tell you the special thing is, and makes it so beautiful, is that it's on a nuclear power plant, which means that the water comes in from one side of the lake to cool down the power plant, running on the outside of it, and then it comes back on the other side, heated up by the outside of the power plant. And so therefore the water in the lake, there's 2 sides. There's the public side and the private side, but we were on the private side, and that water is very warm the whole year. So the water was like 75, 80 degrees. and usually lakes are very cold. So this morning we jumped in the lake at like 8:39, and it was like 85 degrees. It was, I mean, they're not that hot. It was like 80 degrees in the water, and it was very comfortable. Usually lakes are cold. So that's, and also because it's on a nuclear power plant, they go extra careful to make sure it's clean. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so Baruch Hashem. Okay, so therefore we say, so a person needs to know that even a little bit of action can make a huge difference. It's like a parable for a person that is coming to a city, and he only had enough money to buy a ticket for the stop before the city. He was missing those coins. They kicked him off the train in the last stop. He didn't get to his goal. So too in heavenly matters. Or Rashi Ekev, what's the page, man?
990.
990. So too when it comes to spiritual matters. There's some small little thing that a person, if he gets weak and he doesn't do it, and as a result of this, he won't be able to have all the good deeds. All of his good actions won't be enough to get him to the right side. So meaning, it's like, I gave you a different parable. The Belzer Rebbe didn't know. You ever hear of baseball, a game of inches? A little inch there can make the difference between a success and a failure. Hello, are you? So that's what we're saying here, that this is the little bit of a difference. So we saw 3 explanations of what does it mean, these minor mitzvahs which you step on. One explanation was that the minor mitzvahs are the foundation for the more important mitzvahs. Another explanation is that it's the effort for the mitzvahs that you trample on, the like running to do it. And the third thing is, it's the little bit, that little mitzvah is what could put you over the top. Okay, just before we go back to the Rashi, I'll just share this story that the Tzemach Tzedek, who was the Tzemach Tzedek? He was he the third or the fourth or the second?
Yeah, the third.
The third Rebbe, fine. Yeah, the third Rebbe. So the third Rebbe, when he was a little boy, and he began to study Chumash with his Rebbe, the Baal Tanya, who was his grandfather, was testing him. And he said to him, what does it mean, Ekev asher shema Avraham b'kolei? So the same word. So he says, so he explained, Avram listened to the commandments even even in his heel. He says, means he didn't just listen with his ears, he even listened with his heels. So also the heels need to listen to the mitzvahs and to do it. That's what the Baal Tanya, like the answer given by the Tzemach Tzedek. All right, back to the Baruch Hashem, back to the Rashi. Okay, next pasuk. The Shema Hashem Elokecha, we could read that verse, pasuk Gimel. Vayivcha, and God will love you and bless you and increase you. Uveirach, and he will bless. You have the page, are you? What are you eating? The cookish cake? Oh, what? Yeah, it's cookish. It's called cookish cake. It's so geschmack. No, cookish cake, not strudel. Cookish cake. It's a specific type of Heimische cake. Hopefully we'll get some for Shabbos from 7 Mile Market. It's a special cake called the cookish cake. And Hashem will love you and bless you and increase you and bless the fruit of your womb, the fruit of your land, your grain, your oil, your grain, your wine, your oil, shigar alafecha, the offspring of your cattle, the herds of your flock on the earth that he swore to your fathers to give to you. Let's see what this Rashi means here, Max. You continue reading. Shigar alafecha. Viladei. That's the offspring of your cattle. Go on. which the female sends forth from its womb. Okay, go on. The ashtarotzo necha, because alafecha is not the typical word. Um, Alafecha is not the typical word for cattle, but once shagar means to bring the baby out, so that's clear that alafecha must be your cattle. Shagar is like the word shagrir today. What's the modern Hebrew word shagrir? Is an ambassador, so it means to like carry forth a message. So that's what Rashi says here. Shagar, shanakeva mishageret, she sends forth from her mother. Now you will never forget that shigar alafecha means the offspring of your cattle, because it's not the way we would think to say it. It's not intuitive.
In the ancient Hebrew, the aleph looks like an ox head with the two horns. And David HaMelech in Tehillim has a few times where he talks about the alafim. He's not talking about thousands, he's talking about the
very nice.
The ox.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Ashtarot Sonecha. Ashtarot Sonecha.
Menachem Perash.
So who's Menachem? So Menachem was the first, and one of the first, the Aruch was the first dictionary, really. And Menachem is another. He wrote the Machberes, which is a dictionary that Rashi often cites. He lived in the 10th century in Spain. And Rashi had his book. So Menachem Perash, Menachem explained.
Abirei Bashan.
It's like the mighty ones of Bashan. Go on.
Mifchar
What is Bashan known for? Bashan is known, we had it in yesterday's Haftorah. Bashan is known for beautiful cattle. Go on.
Mifchar non.
Mifchar Atzon, the best of the flock.
Kimo Ashtarot Karnaim.
So this word appears in Sefer Bereshis, Ashtarot Karnaim. Go on.
Lashon Chozek.
It means strength.
The English game Vedre Anach.
Onkelos says it's the Edrei Anach, the herds of your flock.
So the
rabbi said, why is it called Ashtarot? Because again, this is a strange word also. Why is it called Ashtarot here? Because they enrich their owners. So these are unusual words for your flocks. Okay, go on. Now we go to the next pasuk. You will be blessed from all your people. You will not have a barren one amongst your animals. Amongst you or your animals. What's an akar? Elliot, read the Rashi. Akar is someone who cannot give birth to children. Okay, go on. God will remove all illness from you. And all the afflictions of Egypt that you had known. What did you know in Egypt? You didn't know anything. The Egyptians knew stuff. Will not put them on you, but he'll put them on all your enemies. What afflictions did you know? It was the Egyptians who knew them. But Rashi does not address that. Rashi does not address that question. Hold on. Here.
In the first chapter, when it says that they were in Egypt and that Mitzrayim were cuts them, was because that they were already living with Egyptians, and so they did experience it not firsthand, but they saw what their neighbors were suffering. No,
that's a good answer. But here Rashi doesn't address it, but he addressed it earlier. Okay, very nice. And you will eat all, you will consume from all the nations that Hashem your God will give to you. You will not have pity on them. You will not worship their gods because it is a snare to you. Okay, now we go on. Prosecute saying, how are we doing? Baruch Hashem. All right, Baruch Hashem. When you say to your heart, the nations are too numerous for me. How will I be able to drive them out? Next pasuk says, "Both Siramam, do not be afraid. Zachor tizkor et asher asa Hashem elkecha leFaro chol Mitzrayim. Remember that which God did to Pharaoh and all of Egypt." Okay, Elliot, please read this Rashi for Yud Zayin and Yud Ches. We're in chapter 7, verse 17. What page is it? Jonah, what page is it?
991.
991. Okay, Elliot, read it. When you say in your heart, how can I defeat them?
Al Korchach.
Al korchach.
Lashon Dilma.
Al korchach, lashon dilmo. The word ki doesn't mean because you will say. The word ki here means perhaps you will say.
Shama Tomar
Bilvavcha. Maybe you will say in your heart.
Mipnei Shehem Rabim Lo Chal Leharish.
Maybe you will say in your heart, because there's so many of them, I won't be able to drive them out.
Al Tomar Kain.
Do not say this.
Lo Tira Mehem.
Do not fear them.
Lo Yatchan.
The lo yitachen lefarsho, that generally speaking, Rashi says this at least half a dozen times in his commentary to the Torah, that the word ki can mean one of four things. Rashi says, ki mishamish ba'arba lashonos. What are the four things that ki can mean? Anybody remember? Aryeh, remember, what are the four things ki can mean? If, when, perhaps, and because. So those are one of the four things. Well, it's one of four things. If, when, perhaps, and because. Which one's that? What that is because.
Oh, I thought that was more like when, like.
Im, asher, dilma, and I don't know how to translate something. Because. Laman, I guess. I don't know. Or beglal. Okay, go on. So you can't say that, but achas mishar oshono shoki. Go on.
Jepul Shu Lo Tira Mehem.
Because it says, hold on, it says, meaning to say, because you have to say, because then how does it fit in within the context of lo tira mehem, do not fear them. So it's only if perhaps you'll be afraid, but don't be afraid of them. Okay, next pasuk. The tremendous tests your eyes saw, the signs and the wonders, the strong hand, that God let you out. God will do to all the nations that you are afraid from before them. Okay, look at the Rashi, Max. Look at that Rashi. Why don't you read that Rashi?
Hamasot.
Hamasot, go on.
Nisyona.
Hamasot means the tests.
Yatzot.
Ratot, the signs.
Kigon Vayi Venachash. Vayu Vedam Biabashet.
Yeah, so what are the signs? The signs, you might have thought that the signs are the plagues. No, that's not the plagues yet, because that's the next pasuk. So the signs are when he said, take the snake, when God said, take the snake and throw it on the, take the staff and throw it on the ground, and it became a snake. And it will become blood when it's on dry land. Go on.
Tim Hamakot Muflaw.
Vamoftim are the wondrous plagues. Go on.
Vayad Chazaka Zeh Dever.
Vayad Chazaka is Dever. So now we have a question. Why does that get its own? Why does that get its own?
Hinei Yad Adonai.
What?
It's only plague that it says that Yad Hashem is going to Hoya b'miknecha asher b'aseh. My b'mitzvah parsha. That's it.
What? Yeah, but why is the only? So it's the only one which
I'm
says the
saying
hand of
in
God.
Hashem's words, Hinei Yad Adonai Hoya b'miknecha.
Yeah, but why does it use the hand? It's because only the plague of Dever and, well, let's look at the next Rashi. What's the next Rashi say? Vazra Nituya and the Alshra Sham Zuachara, Shamakas Bechoros. Only the plague of Dever and Makos Bechoros killed people. And so therefore, they had death as their focus. So therefore, only those two got their special terms. Okay, go on. Plus a cough. Also the hornet Hashem will send upon them until they're wiped away. Do you want to read, Jonah? You want to read?
Yeah, which lesson?
Chaf, the Rashi. Read the Rashi. Hatzira.
Hatzira mean,
Sheretz ha'of.
ha'of.
One of the things I saw by this lake I stayed at, I never really seen it before, was the hummingbird. You ever see a hummingbird around? You ever see one, Jonah?
Sometimes.
Yeah, so it's very, very small. Well, it wasn't so quick, but they were very, it's like almost like a little bit bigger than like a cicada. Yeah, so that's like the tzira is like a species. This is a species of a flying insect. Shai
Shayi tells the records, Bahem, Mara.
Bemara, that it was throwing upon that he would shoot like a poison at them. Go on. Umisar Satan, and he would make them impotent and would blind them. So basically, God says, I'm going to send this hornet on you, and this hornet is a type of insect that shot a poison at them that will make them innocent, impotent, and will blind their eyes wherever they were hiding. Okay, Pasuk Chaf Aleph. Lo ta'arotz mipneihem. Do not break down before them. Ki Hashem Elokecha b'kerbecha. God is in your midst. El Kel Gadol V'Nor is a mighty God. Okay, I want to just say that God willing, tomorrow night, if somebody can pick up the pizza, tomorrow night we're going to celebrate pizza. Why? Because my hope is that I finish my 11th Torah tomorrow. So we're going to celebrate here tomorrow night if you can get the pizza. And I have, with the help of Hashem, I'm going to write, with your help and the help of Hashem, I'm going to write 100 Torahs. 100 Torahs in my lifetime is my goal. The Gemara in Baba Basra says Rav Huna wrote 70. But that's because in those days, the life expectancy was so much less, Baruch Hashem. So we want to now take advantage of the expected life expectancy to write a bigger goal of 100 Torahs. So I have now, if God willing, I have the strength by this time tomorrow, I've finished my 11th. We'll be celebrating with pizza. Pizza! Or can we do ice cream? Which would you rather have? Pizza? You're going to be here, Jonah?
Yeah.
Okay. Pizza tomorrow night, God willing. If we'll try to get somebody who could pick Elon, can you pick up the pizza tomorrow?
Possible.
Possible. We'll have to see. No commitment yet, but if he can get it, or maybe Elliot can get it. You have camp this week, Elliot? So maybe Elliot will get the pizza and we'll celebrate it. If I finish the Torah in time, and we'll do a little dance here in honor of the Torah. If I finish it tomorrow. But I should know by this time tomorrow, the 11th Torah, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah, I know you just finished.
If I finish this one tomorrow, then I started this Torah on May 20.